Take down your pants.
Are you on the level?
You're going to take down your pants, or do I have to do it for you?
Who are these people? They are awful and horrifying, and I love them.
Well, let's tell them.
Cash.
Los Angeles.
Rock and roll. My money.
When will they stop?
Well, now. Long Beach, clear skies.
And now, on with the show.
And good morning to you. This is Mornings on the Beach, your Saturday, Sunday infotainment show. And today on the radio, we have got all kinds of things, but we've got a lot of guests in the studio. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Melanie Ray.
And we've invited somebody to join us here, a previous radio person who decided to get back into radio, and we hope you'll love it.
Hello. I'm Amy Phillips Haller, and I like to go by Amy.
All right, Amy, welcome. And by popular demand, a.k.a. Judy, he's back with us because she loves when X-Ray shows up.
So we do whatever Judy wants.
Welcome to the show, X-Ray. Welcome back, actually.
I think that's limited demand, but I'll go with it. Yeah, Senor DJ X-Ray here from the KLPP's technical closet down the hall here.
And he's taking Mike's place because Mike is on a cruise. Or see, at this point, he's off the cruise and in the middle of the hangover that accompanies post-cruise time.
Yes.
So he'll be with us next Thursday. But like we said at the very top, we're going to have some things on the show today. Join us for GUMBO. What? Yes. We are going to have a story from a dog named GUMBO, who happens to be the longest dog who stayed in the shelter. We'll get all the story coming on up on the show, as well as the annual museum's Free for All. That's coming up. We'll give you information about that. And Melanie, you got somebody to on the show?
Oh, my interview. Amazing. We talked to the one and only Philosophy, telling us about his new exciting event coming up this weekend.
And, like I said, Mike's on vacation. X-Ray, has anything planned for today?
Well, as a matter of fact, I do. One of the things that's happened this week, or this past week, we had the Grammy Awards, which were just records were set everywhere. You know, Bad Bunny set records, of course, and of course, Kendrick Lamar took away, I don't know, probably everything on the table, and he won. You know, that man has won 215 different awards.
Wow.
He's been nominated for another 300 and some odd. Wow. I mean, I actually counted them. I just went page after page. He's amazing. He is amazing.
We'll get to that coming up on the show. You let him, he'll continue to talk.
Yeah, I know. I got that vibe.
Any music, he'll start going.
I got the unstoppable vibe.
And like we said at the top of the show, Philosophy is here to join us.
The one and only.
With some great news. Actually, the kind of thing that we like to hear because we're storytellers, obviously. Here we are on the air talking and yakking. So Melanie decided to invite him because, tell us.
For one thing, he's a co-collaborator, a co-producer, an amazing friend of mine.
Co-conspirator,
have you?
Yes.
And I saw his name connected to TedX, and I thought, that's perfect and magical. Yes. And right away, I called him. I was like, hey, what's going on?
So I then said, my name is Philosophy, the Unsigned Paradigm to Poetry, and I feel humbled to be able to share this space with all of you right now that is under the sound of my voice on 99.1 KLPP.
He's got the whole branding down. I love it.
Yeah, he does. He's Philosophy.
Now, when it comes to TedX Shoreline Village, what we are trying to do, forgive me. What we are doing, we are taking the voices of our community that normally may not have had the opportunity to be thrusted into the main stage, which is TedX. A lot of times when TedX is done, it's done for education, right?
Yeah.
But what we're doing is we're taking the pulse of the city. We're taking the people's voices. This year's title is Perseverance. So how do you persevere through the things that are happening in real time in life? Where did you come from? What is your origin story? And how did you overcome to get to where you are today as a Long Beachian? So the pitch contest is this Saturday morning at 11 a.m. sharp as a harpoon. Okay. We're going to be at Jade Restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And people are going to give a 2-minute pitch.
Oh.
From that 2-minute pitch, we're going to then take the best of the 2-minute pitches. And we're going to say now these contestants have now made it to July, where it's a larger TEDx event, where then your 2-minute pitch then evolves to like an 8 or 15-minute TEDx talk.
Wow. So all you need is 2 minutes for your pitch, right? And
you only need whittled down, fact forward, a 2-minute pitch. Now, what ended up happening was we have a long form that you fill out for TEDx. A lot of people out of like 4.5, almost 5 weeks, gave their blood, sweat, and tears, their heart and souls to telling those stories. Now, we pulled from that pool of people and we said, all right, these are the people that get to swim in the ocean.
Isn't that something? I love that idea.
Nice.
So we have a few people that are now on our Instagram that you can see their faces, you can see their profiles, and you know exactly who is going to be there during that time giving their pitch. Now, here's a what's a surprise, right? Like if you're watching a movie and you crack open the briefcase and they call it a MacGuffin, okay?
What is it?
So right now, this is the moment in Pulp Fiction when John Travolta opens the case
and the gold glows right
to his face, right? So this is the MacGuffin of it all. We have a surprise thing we're doing is we're gonna crown a people's champion, okay? So if you are there and we vote on someone that gave the best pitch, we're giving that as the People's Champion Award.
Oh, this is
now, there's going to be other judges, right? But there's one person, one contestant that if you do that phenomenal, then the people of Long Beach have spoken.
How cool is that?
Right.
So there's so many reasons to go. I'm listening from the point of view of somebody who would one day love to inhabit the TEDx stage.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, do I have the pitch? But now I understand people. You've already solicited the pitches, and there's a reason to go just because of the theme. I mean, I want to hear what people have to say about persevering as somebody who's survived many different life choices.
Because KLBP 99.1 are kind of what we call friends of the family. They always get invited to the cookout, right? I will give you a small little tidbit as well, right? There will be people selected on Saturday. Also, the day after, we'll start, I believe from the 9th to the 15th, we are going to open up the long form one more time so that then you can tap in from our Instagram and our link tree, click on, fill it out. Because now at this point, you know what the competition looks like.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yes.
Right? You know what the competition looks like. It's going to be open. Then you do the long form, and there's a place where you can say your name, talk about, again, perseverance, give your 2-minute pitch, but now it's in video form.
Oh, wow.
Right?
So Danny and I are getting all excited.
Because I practiced for this for years.
What we're doing is, my whole thing is being a native of Long Beach. I grew up in North Long Beach, like Atlantic and Artesia. Being a native in Long Beach, we understand that sometimes you can't meet the deadline. So for whatever reason, something happened, like, man, I just saw this. I just took the kids to school. You know what I mean? Like something happened in our habitat, in our environment, and we just weren't able to do it. Now, there's an opportunity for you to say, listen, I'm not going to be able to perform in front of the whole city of Long Beach. However, I am able to put in a 2-minute pitch.
Sure.
And from those, we're going to grab a very minute and how do I explain more minute? Like if you put your thumb and your index finger together and you get as small as you can, that's how many people will be pulling from that pool of candidates.
So if somebody wants to go on that day, on Saturday, where do they find out? Like, where do they get tickets?
You can get tickets if you go to TedX on our Instagram. It's TedX Shoreline Drive. There is a link that will take you to where you can buy tickets. There is a few tickets you can get. One of the tickets are $15. That's standing room only. There is a VIP ticket that comes with food, and that's a $45 ticket.
Wow.
And there is a ticket for $25 where you are guaranteed a seat.
That's where Ann and I are.
Yeah.
That's another thing when it comes to doing things in Long Beach.
Right.
You can be affluent or not. We make things affordable for every single Long Beachian that wants the opportunity to be in the building.
That's fantastic.
That's
now,
amazing.
I have to go back just before all this. How did you get involved with this? Did they hear you speak, as many people have, and thought, this guy needs to be with our group? Or
interesting enough, the TEDx, the person who is the founder of TEDx Shoreline Village, or forgive me, TEDx Shoreline Drive, was looking for a way to really bring this to the forefront. And she said, when she reached out to me, she was like, okay, every time I keep asking the community, how would I start a TEDx? The person's whose name keeps coming up is a guy named Philosophy that wears a hat all the time. He was like, well, what does he look like? Well, he smiles and he wears a hat all the time.
That's it.
So she was like, I just started reaching out to different people. Hey, do you know Philosophy? Oh, yeah, the spoken word artist Philosophy. And then from there, she reached out on my Instagram, and then from there we sat down, we had a talk, because I feel when it comes to something like TEDx, if New York has it, if Miami has it, if Paris has it, then Long Beach should have had it.
Right.
You know, he's going to have that tattooed somewhere on your butt.
Right.
You know,
go ahead.
When I go around town, the other day I was a couple months back, I went shopping at Marina Pacifica, and I heard your voice booming. Apparently there was some state of the art.
The Arts Council. I was there.
So I can't go anywhere without hearing his voice.
I had the same experience.
Last night, you weren't in the building last night, but I heard on the air
there anyway.
you were doing a promo for the show.
No, and again, I am, the way we started this conversation, I am so humbled and grateful to be in the city I was supposed to be. I was born in the city I was supposed to be in, while others search lifetime, centuries, and eons to where they should be. And when I woke up, from my mom and dad, I was like, wait, I never want to leave here.
Right.
And if I never want to leave here, then how do we build community? How do we build safe spaces for people to speak from the epicenter of their truths?
Yeah, wow. You've done that. You've definitely provided that space, especially with your participation with Live from Secret Island here on the station.
Oh, and I love that
We
show.
do too. I love it so much. So let's just sum it all up. We're going to run out of time here. So,
of course,
where you want to search is TEDx Shoreline Drive, just like we did, to find out the information.
That is correct on Instagram. Mm-hmm. That is correct.
And it's happening Saturday at 11 a.m. here in Long Beach at the Marina Pacifica, the Jade Restaurant there. And if you're listening on Sunday, you're SOL. Because it happened yesterday.
So make sure, and if I say nothing, if I can say nothing else and speak to this, we are for the Long Beach voices. So be it, again, opulent, it doesn't matter where you are from in Long Beach. Your story needs to be told, and we are here to listen to it.
That's awesome. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. Thank you so much, Philosophy, for joining us here with that. And we'll hear you next, I guess, on Live from Secret Island coming up in another month.
Yep.
Yeah,
right.
and if I have 4 seconds, I'll say Atlas is not the only being able to hold his world on his shoulders. I, too, am a Titan. Have a great day, y'all.
All right. Take you, man. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Take care now.
All right, let's have a little bit of music. X-Ray, you're on.
Well, KLBP wants to celebrate Black History Month here in February, and we're going to start off with the new record of the year, and it's Kendrick Lamar and SZA with a tribute, a sample of Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn. Actually, this song was originally done on Cheryl Lynn's album, and then Luther produced and guest vocaled on this one song. But the song is actually written by Marvin Gaye, and we'll get to him later. But anyway, this is Kendrick Lamar's tribute, and it's called "Just Luther" on KLBP Mornings on the Beach.
That was the record of the year, Kendrick Lamar, and thank God you're here because I never knew how to say SZA.
SZA, almost like scissors, but SZA, and she is beautiful. She did an amazing speech on the not the red carpet, but on the stage. Mm-hmm. And in fact, when I was listening to some of the songs for the show today, I had my headphones on, and while not Kendrick Lamar, but one of his people was being gracious for everybody in the audience, and you could hear Cher in the background saying to Kendrick, "I'm sorry."
That was a mess.
Because I didn't hear that when it originally
the
aired.
The producer loved that moment. He said it's finally there was an unscripted moment in the middle of the Grammys. I don't think it'd be great.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, and that's what the show needed. In fact, I know they shook things up a couple of years ago, which they needed to do. And look what's happened. I mean, somebody from Puerto Rico with a Spanish album as the album of the year. Really?
Yeah, it's weird because here I do a show on a radio station. I've never heard a Bad Bunny song.
Yeah,
I will by tomorrow because it'll be Super Bowl. But we'll make sure. But did you watch the Grammys?
I did not.
I just loved him. I'm going to listen to him now. The way he conducted himself at the Grammy Awards, and then the whole BS thing that's going on now with the halftime show or whatever. I'm going to become a Bad Bunny fan because I like what he represents and I like how he presents himself.
A lot of people feel like.
And then Trevor Noah in the Grammys talks about how much he had done for Puerto Rico. And that he was doing the concerts and then charging low tickets for people from Puerto Rico. I think he's walking the talk, and I think that's America.
No, there you go. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people do, apparently, because for some reason he survived all this stuff that went on with the NFL.
He just went straight ahead.
Yeah,
he
just is your thing. Yeah.
You can have Kid Rock.
Before we forget, we're Mornings on the Beach right here.
Right.
I'm Danny Lemos.
Melanie Ray.
Amy Haller.
And DJ XREY.
Right here. And we're looking into all the things that happened in the last week. One of the things is a U.S. Census report that's come out that's released on January 27th, and it says population growth has slowed significantly. And do you have any insight as to why that might be? We slowed down, right? Our population?
There's so many reasons why.
One of the biggest ones is apparently the biggest reason is immigration has slowed. So that affects our population growth.
Oh, I was thinking it's the baby boomers croaking.
That too.
Well, that too. And don't say that too loud.
I know. That's why I whispered that.
But it's funny how lately when you see somebody who's passed and they're like my age, yikes, it's a little close to home.
Well, and also I don't think women feel the obligation to have children if it's not for them. I think that the right now to say like that's not for me is is common. And, and that's why the right, and I know I go back there too much, that's why they're fighting it so hard.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, if women stopped having babies, we'd see in about 30 years.
Yeah.
But women have
but,
the power.
They have the bro type podcasters are always talking, J.D. Vance said, lonely women, lonely cat ladies, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, actually we could, women can be just fine without kids, and they're realizing that, and that's part of the slow.
Yeah.
I had an interesting experience, though. I went back for my graduate degree when I was 48. Mm-hmm. And it was really interesting because most of my peers were in their early 20s. And I found more often than not, a lot of them were not interested in having kids.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice of everything.
Women and men.
Yeah. It takes your time, it takes your money, it takes your energy.
Melanie's daughter just went away to college, and I was already, you're like, feeling this. I think, thank God I didn't have kids.
Yeah, no.
I had a dog.
No, if you're not in it, don't do it.
But another thing that I saw this week, I always look at the stories. Y'all get enough Washington and Trump and all that crap.
Oh, gosh.
So you don't need that from us. But we'll react to it, of course. And this past week, what were the distractions? I think he released the drawing of the new beautiful ballroom, which nobody could care less about. The documentary they released, which nobody could care less about.
Oh, gosh, that was the one.
That was the biggest debacle ever of Jeff Bezos kissing up to power. That's the only way you can look at it. Spending
Yeah.
75 million chump change for him, though, on a documentary that said absolutely nothing about its subject.
Well, even the trailer didn't hold my interest. And it's funny, in the trailer, there's one scene where he talks
you
to
saw that? I
just the
didn't even-
trailer.
I didn't even see that yet.
Where they're talking on the phone, allegedly, and he says, "Did you watch it?" And she goes, "No, I will on the news." And you're like, oh, that's the intimate moment. That's the intimate moment between the Trumps. That's the insight you've provided for us.
So, well, I was one of the 13,000 people that watched Becoming over the weekend. Did you do that, Amy, too?
No, but I heard that actually
Yeah.
totally surpassed.
It makes
the
a difference.
numbers.
Of course it did,
And
which
it
is
just-
why.
Melania.
And
Yeah.
there's so much substance to it. You know, I got to recommend. By the way, I may have mentioned this on the show last week that I listened to Kamala Harris's book on the way out to Las Vegas and back. And there's so much substance in that. I recommend it
Yeah.
if you want to find out about what went on, what
Well,
really
you know,
went on.
Smart people are really interesting.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's great. But one trend, we always keep on the trends on the show.
Yeah.
That we found out, and this might have something to do with why Mike's gone, and that is more Americans are choosing to do what is called a sleepcation. Have you heard about this?
No.
A sleepcation. So you book a room in a hotel or a spa, and you go to do nothing but rest. You go to sleep, you go to have like a spa experience or whatever you would consider to be relaxing. And that's the whole point of the vacation. And they say this is really growing in popularity.
Poor us, man. That's so sad.
We have to get away from our house to go sleep somewhere.
And this is coming from someone who has had a sleepcation that before the term existed. I got a room just to get away from my husband and sleep. But just
I mean, when I was a kid, my parents we couldn't afford to go to France or whatever. So we go to some place like Salado, Texas, in the middle of the state, and rent a room there, and the kids would wander around in the stream that was out there.
Oh,
and
I
it was
got
just-
a room
but
by
we didn't call it a-
Recreation Park.
I know.
I didn't even leave
That
Long
was-
Beach.
I
I
think-
just needed dark curtains and quiet.
We always also like to illuminate you to the stupidity in our country, which means we're always going to turn to Florida. I hate to say it, and I do hate to say it, but there's a lot of evidence. So if you're listening from Florida, you're upset with me right now. Tough.
Google it.
Because this happens in your state. And this is regarding a new law that's going to take effect in Florida, and it regards upcoming voting. Because Florida just made it legal to only solicit for votes in English. There will be no other languages represented at all, including the fact that they're 38% Hispanic in that part of the country. But they're not going to talk about what stupidity is that. And
It's not stupidity. It's so that Latinos don't vote.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't want to write it off as like, oh, that's dumb. No, it's absolutely intentional. So
Is this DeSantis' idea or something?
it must be, yeah. It's now the vote passed in Florida legislature.
Yeah.
But
Bigots.
that's Florida.
Well, you know what I say about Florida is cut that thing off.
Yeah, well, they're getting theirs this week. The stepdaughter lives outside of she moved to the center of Florida now, and
Is this Trump's stepdaughter?
No, mine. She
I wonder where we went.
Thanks for clarifying.
No, but she lived in the Keys with her husband. They moved they got an 8-acre ranch, but they're having 23-degree weather in Florida. I mean, can you even imagine that? But good. Maybe the heat's fried their brains or something, and they can, they'll be more temperate now. I don't know. But
wow.
what's happened in Florida? I can't imagine there being something scandalous or stupid happening in Florida.
Well, wait. In one of my previous careers, I used to work for a channel that was all about the weather. And I never knew this, and I got to do the story, and I was kind of excited. Have you heard about iguanas?
Yes, I love this. I love this.
Right?
Tell it. I love it.
Oh my gosh! It reaches a certain temperature. I can't remember off the top of my head it was, but the iguanas just paralyze in the trees and fall out of them, and you're not supposed to touch them. You're not supposed to do anything.
Because they're cold. They're cold-blooded.
Right. And then in time they just come back.
They thaw?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, and it was
They just
really-
fall out of the
yeah,
trees.
right,
I
and
love,
it's
that's the
totally
best thing
fine.
about Florida.
Yeah, but I thought that was. I had so much fun doing that package.
Well, and you probably saw on YouTube, not either YouTube or on Facebook or something. There was a picture of a deer bringing her doe up to some and banging on some lady's window to let her in because the poor doe had icicles hanging off of it. And then on ABC News the other night they had the penguins up in New York in the I think it was in New York City. The penguins, they were so cold they had to bring them inside.
Oh,
I mean that's pretty. That's cold.
But here in Long Beach, 74 degrees and sunny. Just rubbing it in.
86 yesterday.
Yeah.
Time for us to move on to a little music. And you said there was a connection to the first song we heard here in the show with this next one.
Yes. Well, the first song that you just heard from Kendrick Lamar and SZA, it sampled, and you can hear Luther Vandross in the background. They sampled him. He's not that evident, but his estate's getting writing credits and all that. Well, the most recent version of that was an R&B hit number 4 on the R&B chart. It's called "If This World Were Mine." It's originally by Cheryl Lynn, and it was produced by Luther Vandross, which he also does a duet with her on the song. Yeah, Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn from 1982, and more coming.
Your community radio station, 99.1 FM, KLBP, Long Beach Public Radio.
Mornings on the Beach right here. I'm Danny Lemos.
Melanie Ray.
Amy Haller.
Oh, and DJ XREY.
And Mike's on vacation, so he'll be back with us next week. But I get interesting emails all the time. But if you cross an email asking me if I will do you a favor and it concerns a dog, you got it.
Right.
So Ashley Jones reached out to me. Ashley is the executive director of Partners of Parks, and she reached out about GUMBO. And Ashley, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about GUMBO and why it's important for us to know about him.
Yeah, so GUMBO was Long Beach Animal Care Service's longest resident. I'm not certain if he's the longest resident in history, but he has to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
He almost clocked 2 years at the shelter. And I kept seeing him as I, assist in fundraising for animal care. And I just had to go see him and figure out why nobody was adopting this guy. And he's just been a dream. I've had him 6 months. He's a 5-year-old American Pitbull Terrier. He's copper and black brindle. And he is just hugs, kisses, and chewing all the time.
Well, people always have that impression of pit bulls being...
they're
sweet. All the ones I know, I love them. They're all lovey.
He is a big baby. He thinks he weighs 10 pounds. Like, he thinks he's a lap dog. He's the most affectionate dog.
Oh, now you said what? He's with you now? So he's no longer in the shelter?
He's with me now, so I'm his official mom. And he knows it and takes advantage of it fully. He's got the whole place to himself. He's an only child. And yeah, he's the sweetest guy. So
no, well, that's not the end of his story because
yeah. So I came across, I created an Instagram for him because he was kind of known at the shelter for having a penchant for fashion. That's him.
I hear him there.
You hear him?
Yep.
He's jealous that he can't be on the radio. So he was known for kind of being like a fashionable guy and really into like the costumes and the holidays. And so I thought it would be cute to create an Instagram and post his pictures. And then I came across this America's Favorite Pet competition and I was like, it'll be fun. Like my family will get involved and, I can put him out there and maybe it'll get animal care some visibility. And then he kept remaining in first place in the group competition and is still in first place. And it's online voting and, you can donate to the charity that it's attached to, or you can free vote daily. And if he's still in first place on February 12th, then he's going to make the national finals. And that's really exciting because the winner gets $10,000, a front page photo shoot and article on the cover of Modern Dog, and like a Chewy gift basket. So if we win, I'm going to contribute some of our earnings back to Long Beach
That's
Animal Care.
awesome. Why wouldn't he win?
How do we vote for
Yes,
him?
I was going to say, we got to get all audience in on this.
Yes, so the easiest way to vote for Gumbo is to go to his Instagram and click on the only link that there is. So his Instagram is his full name, Gumbo Lee Jones. And that's the easiest way right now because there's so many pets in the competition. So to give you his URL would be like a nightmare. But I'm pretty sure he's the only Gumbo.
Okay.
If you search Gumbo, America's favorite pet. So.
We'll follow him right now. And you follow our dog, our mascot Boomer. He's got Boomalaka LB on Instagram. Yeah, he's had it since he was born.
Oh, wait, let me give him my headphones for a second so he knows he's on the air. We're talking about it.
He's right here in the studio at my feet.
He'll totally wear them too.
He's out here.
He's had
rescue
overalls, scarves, hats.
That is so cool. Well, I hope he wins, number one. That would be
Yes.
so awesome from Long Beach. But explain also Partners of Parks for people and also what's important to know for our audience.
So Partners of Parks is the Long Beach nonprofit that fundraises for all things parks, recreation, marine. And then because in the city of Long Beach, Animal Care Services falls under the Parks, Rec, and Marine heading, we also assist in fundraising for animal care. So we assist with things like nature center fundraising. We promote dog adoptions. When we did Long Beach Gives, which is an annual fundraiser, we kind of switch around who the proceeds go to. But sometimes we participate in capital projects, assisting in fundraising for like a new playground. The famous one was Admiral Kidd Playground burned down in 2022, kind of mysteriously. And we raised $500,000 to replace that playground.
Wow.
So we're like the kind of the independent 501c3 and fundraising agent for all park needs.
That's fantastic.
And do you work out of the animal shelter down on Spring Street, like the 7700 lot?
So our offices are located at El Dorado Regional Park at Parks, Rec, and Marine headquarters. So Animal Care is right around the corner. I was just over there and at the Nature Center today. So I see them frequently. And that's kind of like the hub of where most things happen. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's Boomer's favorite park. Recreation Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a pass to go in. I don't. So he goes. All
right, El Dorado.
That is so great. So Gumbo, again, we want to make sure that people follow him. Give his Instagram handle one more time.
Yes. So he's Gumbo Lee Jones. No spaces, no dashes, no dots. You can vote for him via his Instagram, America's favorite pet. Let's do it.
Oh, he's got my vote. On board.
Is he your first dog?
So I grew up with dogs, but this is my first like adult dog.
Oh.
And he's also like my Valentine. I haven't had one of those in a while either, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, I know how you feel. They are our best buddies. Mine is with me all the time.
Yeah, I have a rescue dog as well.
Yeah, that's important. Make sure that they give somebody a fur baby a new home. Mm-hmm. So the work that you do, thank you for that.
Thank you.
And for there are people out there who are listening that want to get involved, is there a way for other people to be involved in the organization? Are there cleanups or anything like that?
I would love for them to check out our website because it's brand new and like revamped as of December. So we are at partnersofparks.org. You can fill out a volunteer or interest form if you're interested in donating directly to animal care. There is a link under our partners. Or feel free to reach out to us at info@poplb.org.
Well, that's great. All right, Ashley, thank you so much. Ashley Jones, Executive Director there of Partners of Parks. Thank you so much for bringing us the news about Gumbo. Mm-hmm. And we will definitely follow. Just remember, it's Gumbo Lee Jones, just like Tommy Lee Jones, except it's Gumbo.
Only better.
I love it. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, thank you so much. And thanks in advance for your votes, everybody.
All right. All right. Excellent. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love it. I love it. Dogs in the house, right? I've got one. Melanie's got one. You have two.
I'm down to two right now.
I used to have two dogs. I had a lab and a Weimaraner.
Oh, big dogs.
Time for another one?
I almost got one last weekend.
Oh, I love it because it's like...
Yeah, but he was super aggressive and I was like...
You gotta be careful. Yeah. You know, it was for me, when I lost my last one, it was probably 2010 or 11. And every time I would see a dog, you know how you get.
Yeah.
And I realized, come on, there's got to be a dog out there who needs a home, and that's why I got Boomer.
Yeah. I like to overlap dogs. I don't go a long time.
You
in
know,
between.
I'm thinking about, because that thought is always with me.
Yeah.
There one day he won't be there. So maybe overlap with a puppy.
And it feels like, because I adopted a puppy from the Downey Animal Shelter, and I had 2 elderly dogs. One was very elderly. That was Maud. And I like that they know each other. You feel like it kind of brings a little bit of that energy.
Yeah.
And those 2 elderly dogs have since then passed, but Olive, my dog now, knew them both. And they were part of kind of her training. You know how the old dogs, help train the new dog.
Hey, one thing I learned is you learn to live with the grief easier when you have 4 of them at one time. And they just, one passes and you adopt another, and they just keep coming in. I find them in the street. People dump them off with me. Though I have to move to an apartment. I can't have a dog, so But
that's why you said you're down to 2 now. Huh?
Yeah,
yeah.
That's great.
My Labrador Retriever was the older dog. She was a rescue. She could not stand my Weimaraner.
Oh, I guess
there was
it
no
depends on the
training there
personality.
except stay on that couch. This is mine.
Okay.
She'd have nothing to do with him, and she'd even look at him with disdain, like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah.
And my mom's like, "Do."
I love it. They've got their own special favorites and the ones that are not so favorite.
Yeah.
It's Mornings on the Beach. Time for a little music right now, and for that we've brought in our special guest DJ.
I mentioned earlier that Marvin Gaye wrote the Luther Vandross song, or the one he and Cheryl Lynn did.
Yeah.
He did a live concert in Berlin, and he did a medley for in tribute to Tammy Terrell, and he did "Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing," and also and if This World Was Mine, yes. And that was
beautiful.
Wasn't it just a great performance, live performance in Berlin, and sad that he hasn't been the same since Tammy passed away. That's a lot of the comments on YouTube were talking about that.
Well, he's dead, so yeah, you're right. Marvin Gaye
hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, but when you see him live and performing, with her in mind, it was really. I mean,
we just love to have fun with you. He's X-Ray. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Melanie Ray.
And I'm Amy.
We're all today here because Mike's on vacation, so I've invited some friends in, and we're hoping that Amy, we just met Amy. You worked for a radio station before, correct?
I worked in radio. That's how I started my broadcast career, but I eventually segued into TV, and I also wrote for newspapers.
And so we met at Mixtape Confessions when both were doing our stories. You
Correct.
found out I was working at the radio station, and I always like to did you feel the fishing net cast you in?
Totally.
And pull you in?
Like within 2 minutes, 2 sentences.
Boom.
As soon as he heard radio, he's like, "Here's my card.
Come on over." That's how we built this place, really. Just one after another. Anybody with passion for radio just sort of gravitates towards us, and that's what brings us together. We're all volunteers here, and we're open for anyone who's reaching out. I just heard from 2 people this week.
That's
One
awesome.
will be starting hopefully a new sports show, which we don't have
Oh,
yet.
cool.
Yeah, he's all excited about it. So, and he's going to
That's what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody's passionate. Somebody's going to keep going. That's what's important here. But also on the show, we like to make sure that if you don't have plans for this weekend, obviously the big game is on Sunday. But if you don't have plans to go to the TedX Shoreline Drive pitches, you can go to perhaps a public art installation that will be folding across the county this Valentine's Day weekend. It's a new county-wide public art experience called Attune 1.0, and it will unfold simultaneously across 10 locations, transforming parks, plazas, cultural spaces into a synchronized network of sound, light, and it's all free and open to everybody. We are going to be down the street from it on the promenade. It's going to be the park that's at First and the promenade. There's a dog park there. They're taking over that area right by the metro trains.
Yeah.
And it's going to be incredible. It's presented by the NXT Art Foundation, and an engineering firm got involved called Arup, and it's produced by public art heavyweight Carmen Zella with Now Art. And it's designed it's less as a single event than as a shared moment from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. They'll have coordinated sound-based performances and sculptural light installations. They'll activate, stretching from Barnstall Park up in Hollywood all the way down here to Long Beach, Culver City. It's
Look
all
at our
happening.
little town.
So This is a big deal.
Yeah.
At the Art and Design Walk, that's one of the anchors of it. We are going to be on the promenade between Broadway and 3rd, between Ism Brewery there and L'Ordinaire. We're going to be setting up a stage with storytelling. We're going to be recording stories from the public for our Community Voices project. We're going to have DJs. We're going to have a live band.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Me too. So if you come on down, we do want to hear from you. And while everything's going on, we may take you aside and mic you up, and record a story, your story.
Yeah.
Everybody has a story about themselves. So come on down. I know Amy's got probably 100 stories.
You know what's funny is people
Sure.
always say like, oh, I don't have any stories to tell. And then you just, sit across a meal and they tell you 10,
great
15
story.
stories.
Yeah.
Everybody has them. They
don't
it's valuable
realize it.
because it's true.
Yeah. And when you share a story, I find, whether it was a time that's happy for you, joyful, or whether it was something that you persevered, like the TEDx topic, it's so invigorating to hear other people share those experiences that you may have had.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's what's important about it. I did mention there's some free events coming up, and one of them is the Museum Free-for-All. Have you heard about this? It's every year. They open up for free. They just get rid of their admission prices, and it's happening again. It's on Sunday, February 22nd, so you can plan ahead for it. And they are announcing their museums free-for-all from Orange County to Palm Springs, everybody in between.
Cool. Wow.
Some of the ones, and this is the one that got my attention first, the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. And tickets will be available on that day on their website, first come, first serve.
I went to that museum because my daughter wanted to see the John Waters. We went to see the John Waters exhibit. And I didn't think I'd dig it, but it is a great museum.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is
really
a great museum. We spent the whole day there. I really liked it.
And thanks to Barbara Streisand for the...
Yes!
She gave them a lot of money. And
yes.
They gave her a lot of space. The Aubrey Museum, maybe you want to go to the Aubrey Museum of the American West. Advanced registrations can be done on their website. The Getty Center will be open for free on the 22nd of February. And they say timed tickets are required. Just visit getty.edu to make a reservation for that.
Cool.
LACMA, if you want to go to LACMA, MoCA will be open. Museum of Latin Art right here in Long Beach will be open.
That's a great museum.
And the Scarborough Center, advanced tickets are recommended for both Noah's Ark and General Admission. Scarborough.org. I'm going to go over there. Well, that's it for today. We got one song to take us on the way out.
Yeah, the first time in their 43-year history, Megadeth had a #1 album hit the Billboard 200. And
I love that.
How did that happen?
When they said they're going to go, this is their final album,
and
they're going to go on tour. They're going to go on a farewell tour. We've heard that before. They always come back. Ask Cher. But I guess Dave Mustaine is going to really do it. And he wrote a song before he was kicked out of Metallica because he got in fights and alcohol and all that stuff. And he got in a fight with James Hetfield because he apparently kicked his dog. So
how do you know all this?
Wikipedia helps. But no, that's the story that's gone on forever. But anyway, he wrote a song that's been a Metallica hit for their third album, and he's recorded it for the first time with Megadeth on their new album. It's just self-titled Megadeth, and you're going to hear "Ride the Lightning" right here on Mornings on the Beach.
As we say goodbye, bye everybody.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Take care.
KLBP commercial free.